Hey everyone, Joe at Small Home Off-Grid Prepping. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. If you're new, welcome to the channel. This is it, guys. Hurricane Ian is heading down on us. This is it. This is what we keep telling you about. If you're living in Florida and you're not prepped, it's probably too late for you guys. I was at a couple different stores this morning. I got some pictures here I showed you. The water shelves are completely empty. Everything's gone. There's no water. Lines in the gas station are piling up. It won't be long before they run out of gas. And this is what we keep saying. This is what I keep saying. And you see other preppers on other channels. If you're not prepared, the time is going to come where it's just too late. You can't be prepared. And for a lot of people here in Florida, this is exactly what just happened. Water shelves are empty. When I was in Publix, which is one of the places I went to, that's one of our grocery stores here, I heard somebody asking the guy loading the shelves up when he expected more water, and his answer was, oh, we're expecting it Tuesday, but I'm really not sure about that because that's about the time the storm is going to hit. Right now it's a tropical storm, but this is what happens. As soon as they put that cone right on Florida, that's what happens. Water shelves go empty, the gas lines back up. If you don't have a generator, I've checked around about a lot of local places here, our Home Depots, our Lowe's, Harbor Freights. They're completely gone. And being an electrician, I've seen this over and over. When that storm comes and they put that cone right on Florida, everything's gone. Not more, I think it wasn't last year, but the year before. We had a storm coming through here and everything was gone. You couldn't get generator cords, you couldn't get generators, you couldn't get interlocks, you couldn't get transfer switches, you couldn't get transfer panels. Anything completely related to generators was gone. That was it, just completely disappeared. And that's where most people are now, and this is what we keep telling you. Again, if you're not prepped, then the time is going to come where it's too late. You can't be prepped. And for Floridians, a lot of that's happened. That's pretty well happened. Like I said, shelves are empty, gas lines are backing up. So if you don't have gas for your generator, you better run out and get it now because you might not be able to get it. If you don't have water, you better run out and get it now because you might not be able to get it. And this is a minor case scenario, okay, but it needs to wake everybody up. You really need to see how fast this can happen, because with a hurricane coming through, really our worst case scenario is going to be where it hits. If it does hit and make direct landfall, people in that area won't go much more than about a week without power. Our power crews here are pretty good at getting, it's what they do. They're pretty good at getting things back going. We have power companies that come in from different states and they help, so they do restore power fairly quick here. But what happens if the grid went down and power is not going to be restored quick? That's how fast this can happen. You can be sitting at home watching TV one day and all of a sudden the grid is down and that's it. And there is no power crews coming to save you. There is no water coming back to the stores. And that's the other thing that happens is the reason that this guy said maybe Tuesday is when these things happen, what's going to happen now is they're going to hoard that water. They're going to hang on to that water for the areas that do get hit, because when the area gets hit hard and they've lost power and they have no water, that's where they're going to be shipping the water into. Okay, that's not going to be coming back to our stores over here. I asked the person at Walmart, the girl loading the shelves at Walmart, when she expected water, and she laughed at me. She looked at me, she started laughing. She's like, we don't. So that's what happens. When the shelves run out, when things go, that's it. It's gone. You can't get it anymore. You're pretty well done. So what you really need to do is you still have a chance at this time. There's still some things out there. You see in the pictures that I'm showing, there's still a little bit of water on some of the shelves. Walmart was completely out. Our two local grocery stores, our Publix and Winn-Dixie, they both had a little bit, but you also see Winn-Dixie's limiting 3 per person. That was it. You can only take 3. Their gallons are gone. It's only the 24 cases they have left. So they're limiting 3, but what you really need to do is you need to get prepped now the best that you could. The storm is coming. It is going to hit us. Right now it's a tropical storm, but it will become a hurricane and it will hit us. If you have a generator, you need to take your generator out, fire it up, get it started. But what you really want to do is you want to start off with water, okay? Water, you need 1 gallon per person per day for the water. If you can't get it in the stores, fill up whatever you have. Okay, fill up your bathtub with it, fill up your sinks with it. Wait till the storm gets a little bit closer. You don't want to sit for the next 3 or 4 days with your bathtub full of water. But when the storm's coming and you know it's coming in your area and you have the risk of losing water, fill up that bathtub, fill up those sinks. A lot of things you don't think about when you don't have water and you don't have power. How are you going to flush your toilet? And if you're not flushing your toilet, it's going to get pretty nasty pretty quick. So you can use the water in your bathtub for flushing your toilet to keep your toilets clean. Non-perishable food. You have to stock up on whatever canned food you could, box food you could. For most people, something that's not going to need refrigeration. You don't have to put it in a refrigerator. You may not, if you have a generator and you know you can keep your refrigerator going, well, that's good to have some extra meats and some extra stuff. But for the most part, you really need to stock up on like canned foods, canned soups, the Chef Boyardee stuff, like boxed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, stuff like that. That's just non-perishable that you'll be able to store for a little bit. Pet food. Have you thought about your pets? You have to really keep in mind that you're not going to have anything for your pets if you don't have any pet food. Then you have to stock up on pet food as well. You have to make sure for at least a week. And my recommendation is that you do these things for a week. Like I said, water is 1 gallon per person per day, and I would do that for 1 week. I would stock up for 1 week. Same thing with my non-perishable food. I'd make sure that for my entire family I have enough non-perishable food for 1 week. I did notice when I was at the stores this morning that the canned food is going down on the shelves, but there still was quite a bit. So things like that you'll still have a little bit of time for. Pet food, there was still a lot of pet food on there. So like I said, these are things I would recommend a minimum of 1 week. You want to get your power, you want some non-perishable, or your water, you want some non-perishable food, you want to make sure you have your pet food. If you have a generator, like I was saying, you want to make sure you have plenty of gas for the generator. We prefer a propane. This is a dual fuel over here, but it will run on gasoline, but I prefer propane because I can store a lot more propane for a lot longer than I can store gasoline. But that's why I have this out today, because I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to get started, which I usually do about once a month anyways. But today I'm going to get this thing fired up, make sure everything's working good, everything's fine. I've taken out my solar panels over here so I can check my solar panels. These, if you saw my other video, these are basically just stored in my shed for now. I will be doing a project where I'm installing these. They'll be mounted up on my shed roof. I have a 5 battery backup for this, 500 amp hour batteries. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to check the charge on my batteries. They've just been sitting there, I haven't used them. And what I'll do now is I'll make sure they are charged before the storm comes. And if my power is going to be out for a few days, 2, 3, 4 days, I won't run this. I'll hook up my panels and I won't mount them. I can just set them up against a tree. I can do a lot of different things for now just to make sure I have power. I can use the batteries, charge the batteries, use my power inverter, connect it to my home, and make sure everything like that is okay. So I have my generator out today. I'm going to fire it up. I've checked my panels. I'm going to check my batteries. I'll hook up my power inverters, make sure my power inverters are working okay. So if you have these things, that's what you want to do. You want to fire up your generator. You want to make sure your generator is working okay and no problems with it. Also medicine, okay? If you need medicine, you have prescription medicines. Now, Monday, probably, whatever, this is the time to contact your doctor and get a refill. With prescription medicine, I would suggest 2 weeks, okay? So why I'm suggesting 1 week with the water and everything else and not 2 weeks is what'll happen is if the storm goes down, storm comes through, power goes down, there will be people that come in. FEMA will come in, Red Cross will come in, there'll be trucks that show up at water. So after a day or so when things calm down, people will be able to get canned food. There will be people that come and help. But keep in mind, this is during a storm, okay? If SHTF hits and grid goes down, power goes down, that's something that's not going to happen. It's something you have to be prepared for. It's something you have to be ready for. So you have to make sure that you have the medicines that you need. Again, I'm recommending 2 weeks for medicines. Flashlights, you need some flashlights. Make sure you have batteries. If you have rechargeable flashlights, make sure everything is charged back up. You're 100% charge. First aid, make sure you have stuff for first aid. If you hurt yourself, you have antiseptics and neosporins, whatever you need, alcohol for cleaning wounds, whatever. So you need to make sure that you have a good good first aid kit. Make sure your phones are charged up. Make sure that whatever you need, radios, if you have emergency radios, make sure your emergency radios are charged up. Just make sure that you just go through, get yourself a list is the best way, a prep list. But like I said, you have to make sure that you have water. You have to make sure that you have non-perishable food. If you have generators, you have solar, whatever, just go through, make sure everything's working okay, make sure there's no problems with anything. And the storm is going to hit us. So like I said, you need to take this as a good example. This time when a storm hits, this is not it could be a catastrophe, we know that, but it's not going to be a SHTF catastrophe. Things aren't going to go down for a year. Things aren't going to go down for, long term, 2 years, this and that. But it does show you how fast you can be caught off guard if you're not ready. If you've seen our trailer video, then you saw me say in a trailer video, one of the first things I said is you're sitting watching TV, got a cold drink going on, watching your favorite sports game, and boom, things go black, power goes out. Well, when it happens, that is what's going to happen. It's going to be that fast. Power is going to go out, water is going to go out, you'll no longer be able to go to the stores and buy food off of the shelves. So like I said, I felt it pretty important to do this video, just because I went to the stores, I saw what's going on out there, and you might have a little bit of time to prep, but keep in mind, if you don't, figure out what to do. If you can't get water from the stores, fill up everything you could. If you have old gallon jugs, if you have whatever, fill up whatever water you could. Make sure you have enough water for your pets to feed your pets. Cat litter is another thing. If you have indoor cats, what are you going to do when you don't have any cat litter? Well, they're going to find places to go. They're going to stink your house up pretty quick. So it wouldn't hurt to stock up on some cat litter as well. So you really need to make yourself a list of what's going on. If you're in Florida, then this is coming for you most likely. We don't know where the cone is within our area, but things are running out quick. So you really need to get out there as soon as you could and get things going. Get your water, get your preps, get your food, get your gas, get whatever you could, because it's running down quick, people. Again, you see the pictures I've showed you here. The gas lines are big, shelves are completely empty, they're starting to limit water, and the thing is, again, when the storm hits, and it most likely is going to damage pretty good somewhere in Florida. It might not be my area, it might be somewhere south, but all of the supplies are going to go to that area, which means your shelves, if you're living in Florida, and your water shelves are empty, and even though you don't get hit, you don't take a direct hit, they're going to stay empty for a while. You're not going to be able to get a lot of things. So you need to prep now. You need to go now because, again, things are going very, very fast out there. So everybody stay safe. Like I said, this is just a quick video I wanted to do because I saw the importance of it. I know how fast. I've been dealing with this for a long time, and I know how fast things run out. I know how fast the gas runs out, how fast the water runs out, how fast canned food will go down, and you just can't get it. So anyways, have a great day, guys, and everybody stay safe.